Let's go! Depression.
Guys, welcome to Season 2, Episode 3 of the Chilidogcast. I'm actually laughing at Slappy Jack's comment there. Let's go, depression! We've got joining us with my boy, my host, the king, the brains behind the operation, Super PP. Let's go. Say hello. Introduce yourself.
Hello! How's it going, everyone? I am Super Pretzel Punch. You can also call me Kelly. Fox, how is bushfires? Is that small talk? That seems like not small
Yeah,
talk.
I don't think I can make a joke about that.
Just
Change, cut it. So restart.
let's see. Shut up! We don't talk about bushfires because we're
We're not a news
ignoring
channel.
that for right now.
Oh my god.
We're ignoring that for right now, okay, guys?
Okay. And also joining us. Jesus Christ, man, I can't even brought bushfires. You can't. Alright, anyway. And joining us, we got a special guest, an amazing streamer who did retire, Melandor. Say hello, introduce yourself, tell us where to find your stream. Oh wait, you don't stream anymore because you quit, you ding dong.
Yes, we should, before we kind of get off to a start, we should let you guys know the title of this episode, which will not fit on Twitch or in the YouTube video when I upload it, but the actual title of today's episode is the semi-regular episode dedicated to discouraging streaming and talking about it because some people need reminders or have had questions lately, and it's been a while since we talked about these things in a kind of cohesive manner. So, again, reminder, guys, this is going to be more than our other episodes, more community-driven as far as what we talk about. So please, if you have questions, best place to put them is in our Discords, either mine or Fox's. That way it's kind of all in one place and I can go through them. Of course, if you guys have any pertinent questions on topics we are talking about at any given moment, feel free to ask. It's just more likely we'll get to it if it's in the Discord.
I will
than
if
if it's
anyone
kind of
asks if they
flowing through
want to
chat.
call in or if they want to talk about Cyberpunk. I don't care.
Yeah, there's no gaming news.
No gaming news. So I won't be bored this time. Got him. Got me. Got me.
Fox will have something to talk about.
Oh my god, guys, stop with the FFN. Can I call in? Shut up. Seems like a better join the Discord. You don't have to join the Discord if you don't want. But this time
Yeah, if you don't want your voice heard, that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. You can
call me after the show if you like Dragon.
There you go. Check your title for spelling errors. What did I spell wrong, Meme Machine?
Chili.
Oh, fucking hell. Should I change it? I can't be bothered.
Nah, fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah, fuck it. Don't care. Join the Discord so I call in, guys. Inksam, you always call. You speak to me every weekend. Anyway, so back on topic. So this podcast, we're going to talk about, I guess, the negatives and downsides to streaming, because quite often or not, on Twitch itself, I notice this. I'm sure some of you guys notice. Everyone's got this very toxic, positive attitude to like, you want to stream? Let's all stream. Everyone should stream. Let's all stream. You're going to stream? When are you going to stream? You're going to stream tomorrow? Let's go stream. Let's all stream and do this stream and stream that. And there's nothing wrong, I guess, encouraging. Like, if someone wants to try something out, that's fine. But I think the big issue is that they never talk about the downsides of streaming, the negative sides to it. And I guess maybe, and also, I'm more probably going to be focused on talking about people who have a fantasy of becoming the #1 Twitch streamer and that everything's going to be all great, and then tomorrow they're going to, quit their job, they're going to hand in their letter of resignation and do streaming full time. I'm probably going to be answering more questions direct to that. And then, I don't know, and I'm sure you guys will interject. And then we've got Melandor on the show as well. Like I said, he used to be a streamer himself, and he decided to retire, and I guess he'll go on to what he's been doing with his life, and I guess what made him make the decision to quit streaming, I guess, even though he was a pretty cool guy. I like Melandor. He was a decent streamer. It was alright.
Yeah. So, yeah, like, I'm sure a lot of you guys know Melandor, and right after I'm done talking Melandor, I'll let you just kind of have the floor. But Melandor was a good streamer. I wish I could catch him more often than I, was able to. He's a chill guy.
He played good games.
He played good games. He had good commentary when he was playing. Pretty, good chat interaction and stuff like that. All the stuff that you think of kind of being the bare minimum, honestly, to be decent on Twitch,
thanks, Tom.
Right? So, Melandor, I guess, like, I'll let you have the floor with kind of the prompt of, if you want to talk about just very briefly, and we'll probably ask you more detailed questions, but like kind of your introduction to Twitch, either as a streamer or as a viewer.
What made you
decide to start? And then kind of like what made you stop, and we'll kind of ask questions to fill in the gaps.
Sure. No, that sounds good. So I guess to go to the start. So I was never a Twitch viewer. I think maybe I'd watched 2 streams ever when I started streaming, and I think those probably would have been like, some big esports tournament or whatever.
Yeah.
But I had an acquaintance start streaming about would have been what was last year, 2020, late 2019, and I started to watch their stream, and I found the idea of streaming interesting, I guess you would say. Let me refer to my notes. And I made an offhand. I remember I made an offhand comment to a friend about, I could probably. I said something like, I could probably get affiliate, I reckon, if I wanted to put the time into it. So sometime in like March, I thought, I'm not really doing anything. I want to play some more single player games rather than multiplayer games. Why don't I just, stream them? Which I imagine is a thought that goes through a lot of people's heads. And then I thought, maybe I can talk to people at the same time. I can work on like my social skills, my communication skills, or something like that. Because that's something that was important.
Bow hunting skills,
that's something that was something that was important to me at the time. So I think it would have been like mid to late March that I started streaming for those reasons.
Okay. Those are pretty honorable reasons.
Those are reasons that you hear a lot of people say, right? Like wanting to work on social skills is something that a lot of people will say. The other common one is I'm playing games anyways. Why not stream while I'm doing it? What was your kind of initial successes or impressions or feelings? Like, let's say like the first month or so, or if you want to go more granular, like the first couple weeks of doing it.
So I would say for the first month, almost nothing happened. I basically essentially had 0 viewers. I had viewers, but they were just my friends. I think I was at 3 average viewers for April.
You did better than me.
I didn't get a single follow in that entire month. I streamed for about 30 hours, which isn't that much. But what was I think I was playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. Was that out in April?
In Australia, we got it. We did get it.
Yeah, that's right. It was
7
alright.
days. Now, Melandor, before we go ahead, how bad is Final Fantasy VII Remake, just so people know?
It was playable. I beat it, and I didn't really have any particular interest in going back and doing much more with it. To be honest, it needed some more time in the pot, I think.
So I just get people oh, fuck silly, anyone that doesn't like Final Fantasy VII Remake. I just want to let people know there are people who don't like it. Thank you very much. I'm not alone in the world, you idiots. That's what
Continue with your story, Melandor.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so I didn't really see any growth at all until I started doing networking,
games?
Basically.
Networking.
I randomly found Duo's channel while looking for people to raid, and then actually became a part of, well, at least this section of the Twitch community. Whereas previously I didn't really watch anyone else's streams. I didn't talk to anyone or do anything like that. And that would have been, I'd say that would have been like late May, early June. That was around the same time that I came across your channel, Fox.
Yo,
so about 2 months in.
Let's go.
A long time ago.
And your life became better, wasn't it? You were like, oh, my life's a bit shit, but now Fox is here, fucking best, the best channel out there. Hashtag save Fox's channel in 2021.
Yeah, so for me, that was sort of the first big, I guess you would say, turning point. In hindsight, it wasn't as important as I thought it was. That was when I got affiliate, which was that was my goal. Is because that's what I'd said. Sure, I can get affiliate. Let's go, whatever. In hindsight, I don't think affiliate is actually that important.
We'll definitely. I'm going to bring that up as our scrub of the week. Something similar to that. Actually, you know what? We might as well bring up scrub of the week now, since you're kind of bringing on it.
I'm laughing.
Fox, do you remember what my scrub of the week was?
No. Who was it?
Okay, awesome, delicious content for you guys. The scrub of the week is affiliate pushers for me. It's the people that tweet or on their own stream, like, encourage people to go follow or watch a person that just started streaming to get them to affiliate. And you might think, oh, well, what's the harm in that? You get them to affiliate. The problem is, at least in my opinion, is that it creates a codependency, dishonest, very short success that it's not easy to build on. And what I mean by that is you get, yes, exactly, thank you, Psycho, is a false sense of success. Because you get affiliate and that's your first goal and you get it, and especially if you've already been in communities and they decide to push you, and you get affiliate right away, you're like, wow, I met my first goal. This isn't as bad as I thought it would be. And then more often than not, yeah, those people ain't coming back once they help you get affiliate. And then you're kind of stuck with, well, I got affiliate, but I don't have any subs. And, all the stuff that, like, at least, like, I'm sure you, Melandor, Fox, and I definitely had to do was, like, in the first 3 or 4 months before we got affiliate, was, like, learn, like, what's working, what's drawing people in.
Yeah.
And if someone's artificially boosting your success like that, then it delays that introspection that I think is really important.
Yeah. It's kind of like it's the equivalent to winning the lottery but not having any money management skills, so then you just throw your money away, which has happened to if you ever guys look up lottery winners, that if they've never been rich in their entire life or don't know how to manage their money, if they've been given a giant lump sum, they will squander that money and fuck it up. I've seen it happen multiple times. You can read stories about people who fucked up in the lottery. And what Pretzel's trying to say is that because I guess me and Pretzel were struggling, hustling, grinding, that Twitch grind or whatever, I guess when we earn affiliate, because how did I get it? When did I start? So I was on YouTube, right? And I switched to Twitch because Joseph True told me to, and he just said he think I'd be better on it and it's just a better platform. And I was like, alright. He took me a long time to convince me, but he did it. And I made the dumb mistake of playing Resident Evil 2 Remake, which is why we're doing my 2-year stream anniversary playing Resident Evil 2. Because when I streamed, I literally had one or two viewer. But
I thought you were playing Cyber Shadow.
I want to play Cyber Shadow. And so when I streamed it, I was like right at the bottom of the list. No one could find my channel. And so I didn't understand why no one could find me. I didn't put two and two together. I was like, oh, why am I streaming a popular game? I'm an idiot. And then I played Sekiro afterwards. Also a big mistake because that came out day one. I played that day one. And I remember some of my streams had literally 0 views or 1 view. Or sometimes it was my friend. I remember one time my actual IRL friend was in the room with me. We were drinking before heading out to the club. And there was literally one person in my chat. And it was just me and him just playing. I was fighting the boss. I was like, alright, time to go. Let's go out. And yeah, and then I think it was I got lucky. I remember I was playing Dota 2, some guy was streaming it, he had his Twitch handle and his name. I kind of like partied with him, and then like he kind of like helped each other out. People liked me from his community. A few stuck around. I still got toxic mocks from his community. And yeah, then I slowly just networked with some people from Adelaide that watched me, maybe network with a few other people, and I kind of built my own little small ecosystem. I don't think any of those people are still around, maybe except for Toxic Milk. Lizzie and Chris came by the other day. He's my IRL friend from Adelaide. Pastel Sparkles, she rated me maybe 3 weeks ago. But yeah, I kind of built my own little small community. It was very small. It's full of Dota players, unfortunately, so they were a little bit like, when are you going to play Dota too? I'm like, well, I like variety. I like playing single player games. But anyway, it took me a long time. It took me 4 months to get affiliate, 3 or 4 months. But yeah, I slowly built my way up from there, and yeah, just kept going on.
So, Melandor, you were going to say something?
Yeah.
About this
so
topic?
the thing that I realized is that all like, I mean, it's fine to be happy about getting affiliate and making that a goal, but it's just there, and I think people kind of put it a bit on a pedestal. It's just there, for Twitch to monetize you, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
It's not some sort of like big accomplishment. It's just it's kind of like the base level. If anything, it's like now you can make money for Twitch. You haven't really done anything yet as such.
Mm-hmm.
Melandor, would you say affiliate is too easy to get if someone boosts you? Like, for example, like, say someone goes, yo, help the streamer out, get him to affiliate. Do you think affiliate should have a higher average follower?
No. I don't. Because I just don't think that achieves anything necessarily.
Do you reckon it would weed out, though, the people who, for example, is like, yo, go check out this guy. He's on that affiliate grind. He's almost there. He just needs 10 more followers, and he needs that, that 3 average viewer. And like that'd shortcut the process for a lot of people. If we made like, say, 10 viewers, because it's pretty hard to get 10 viewers if you're starting from scratch.
I guess sorry. I guess I'd probably revise my statement.
Oh, okay.
I don't. I guess I'd say I don't think that they will raise the requirements. I don't think there's any incentive for them to do that.
But do you think it would be a good idea, though?
That I'm not sure about. You definitely would get rid of that people. How much that would make a difference on anything is whether that would reduce the number of people streaming and what difference that would make to people taking it more seriously. I'm not sure.
I just had a thought just then. Because a lot of those pleb tier streamers, that's what we're going to call them, pleb tier streamers, the ones who put no effort in it, they just expect everything to come to them, and they're just doing it because they have a fantasy that they're going to be successful one day. Do you feel like because they got affiliate so easy, they go, but I must be doing something alright, I've got affiliate, I got that, I'm an affiliate. Like, do you think it might, if for example they did 6 months of streaming and they couldn't get affiliate and they couldn't get the thing because the requirement, let's just say the requirements to say 10 for argument's sake, and they weren't getting the subs, because technically some affiliates that are very small might get what's up Brisbane, how you doing, buddy? If they raise the requirement and then those people are like, oh fuck man, I've been streaming for 6 months, I haven't got affiliate yet, shit, like, and then they'd actually quit, or they'd start maybe to force them to get good, take it a bit more seriously. Like if they want to, like, at least it'll force them to think, like, if I want to get 10 viewers, I just need to get good. I'll tell you something, guys. Mr. Beast, right? I don't know if you guys know Mr. Beast. Is one of the oh my god, Prisma, fuck off. Can someone time out Prisma for saying the ceiling? I hate him. I hate that man with a passion. With Mr. Beast, he actually on YouTube, huge YouTube celebrity. On the weekend, he was doing questions on on Instagram, and everyone in the chat's just laughing. On Instagram, he said, someone asked, how do I become YouTube famous type of thing? And all he said was, everyone overcomplicates it. Just make good videos and people will watch them. Just make what people want to see and make them good and entertaining, and people will come and watch it. People overcomplicate it. And it's the same with streaming. If you want people to come and watch you, just be entertaining. Provide value to said viewer. Anyway, so I guess my point I was trying to say is, if they raise the affiliate requirement up, I reckon it would force a lot of pleb tier streams to actually have a long, hard think. Like, am I cut out for Twitch? Am I doing the right thing? Am I providing value? And maybe it would make him go either try and get good or to quit type of thing, and maybe focus on something that would be more suitable for them. What do you think, Melandor?
It definitely would cause more people to quit. I just don't know if that's necessarily like whether that's good or bad, or how much of an impact that's going to make in the long run.
That's alright. Oh, we're just theorying anyway. It's not really like we're going to make a big business decision for Amazon. Imagine tomorrow's like, yo, Amazon, change it. Let's go. Hold, let me just get my phone and call up Bezos. Let's go. Alright, go Pretzel.
So Melandor. So we talked about kind of the beginning and start of it, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but like you would say that the beginning was very positive experience, right?
A very what? Sorry.
Positive experience for you.
Positive.
Yeah, and like,
I'd say
positively
skipping past that month where no one was watching, because that was pretty like dog shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, so that's something that I think a lot of people don't appreciate is just how crappy, unless you are getting that kind of artificial boost from communities you're already in. And when I say artificial, what I mean is not organic, in the sense of organic, where you start out and people find you and they start watching you because they like your content and not necessarily because they want to just support a community member, so to speak. But once you started getting affiliate and you started getting more regular viewers, would you say that was when it became a positive experience?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Okay.
I'm wondering if, like, for startup streamers, if anyone gets organic growth.
That's a good question. I guess not, because networking is such a big part of it. I guess it's not even so much growth, it's organic. It's more of like the sustainment is the problem, right? And I think we can all agree with that, is you can get as many people in front of your stream as possible. It's how many actually want to stick around. But, okay, so my next question is then, what was, so up until you made the decision to stop streaming, and so between that kind of high that we just mentioned and that period where you started to question whether you wanted to keep doing it or not, what was going on in that period for you?
The big thing for me is I didn't really have any goals anymore that I wanted to achieve with streaming. There was like a vague sense of accomplishment with increasing the numbers, but I didn't have any. There wasn't, some sort of number I wanted to get to, and obviously I was never. The thought of streaming full time was never a consideration in my mind. And yeah, I went back and forth a lot as to what I actually wanted to do with my channel. Like, what kind of games did I want to stream? What kind of an audience did I want to attract? What was I providing as well to my viewers? Not just like what were the benefits to me, is like what was I doing for everyone else?
Right.
That's the right mentality to have too.
Yeah, because there was I don't recall this when this was. I think it was probably maybe like September. I could look up the tweet, but there was a point where I'd been playing a lot of like Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, and seeing like pretty reasonable growth. But
those are easy games to get growth on, especially if you're not especially if you don't curate your community too much. Like, if all you care about is getting people in and you are willing to entertain whatever they say, you can get decent growth from it.
Something I noticed a lot is that I didn't really retain many viewers through those games. I would get new ones with each game, and they would generally move on.
Yeah.
Once you started a new game, or
once I started a new game.
Gotcha.
So I'd play Dark Souls, I'd have the Dark Souls viewers, and then I'd play Bloodborne, I'd get the Bloodborne viewers, so on and so forth. So it was around then. I think after Bloodborne that I made the decision that that and I also had run out of FromSoft games to play.
Yeah.
Excuse me, you got Echo Knight Beyond, you got Kingsfield 1, 2, 3, 4, you got Shadow Tower 1 and 2.
That's true. I'd run out of popular FromSoft games.
Oh, fuck you guys. You guys are dogs.
I didn't say they were bad.
Why can't we be retro king cons like me?
Well, that's what I'm getting to, right? That's when I decided I wanted to play games that less people had heard of, and it was around when I started doing that, my viewer average didn't really go down, but my chatters, my chat, just died. I've just no one was talking, and I found that very odd at first, but then I kind of figured out that people just seem to like to talk about games that they've played.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, that's a good point. Good point, Melandor.
People just, I don't know, at least this is in my experience, obviously. This isn't going to be the same for everyone.
I was going to stand up quickly. You guys keep talking.
Yeah, so I kind of had, I had two realizations. There's one that I didn't really have, I'd been streaming for months, but I didn't really have a community. I had a few people who turned up a lot, like a very small handful. Like a good friend here, Dragon D Dark.
No, Dragon D Delicious, shouts out.
Yeah. And that it just didn't seem that people were that interested in new games. The big I remember there was one specific stream where I played, I don't know if you've heard of this game, Hypnospace Outlaw.
Yes.
Yeah,
and to gaming hipsters here, of course we know.
I really enjoyed that game. And almost no one had anything to say about that to me during that stream. And I kind of just thought, what's the point of playing all these different games if no one actually cares about them or wants to check them out or play them?
Right.
That was the big turning point to me.
Just to read Tom's comment, I don't know, I like no one chatting really say me telling people to shut up.
Stop talking to me, I'm trying to play a game, you fucking nerd.
That is a benefit that I didn't consider.
So Melandor, that was I never thought about that, because that's kind of the reason why I stream in the first place, because I was sick of people playing the fucking same old shit everyone else fucking plays. And I'm super passionate about showing people that instead of walking to GameStop and EB Games, but there's no EA or Ubisoft game, and just walking out, you could download Hypnospace and show some people some cool games.
So my Fox, my question to you about that is,
what's up?
Would you have made the decision to do that when you were still less than 3 viewers?
Yes, because I went from Resident Evil 2 to Sekiro. Then I switched to Spider-Man because I don't know why, I think was it halfway through it or some shit. I don't know, I played Spider-Man, and I had a bit more viewer interaction because no one was playing Spider-Man at the time. And then I think the next game I played was either Rage 2, and I purposely put the trophy hunting tag on the video so people knew I was trophy hunting, and I did Sega Game Gems. Now, I didn't know about Retro at the time, so I didn't know I could stream under Retro. That was my mistake by that. But when I was playing Sega, I actually finished Rystar just for funsies on stream, and Shinobi, Shadow the Dancer, and Shinobi Revenge of the... What's it called? Revenge of the... Is that the second? Revenge of the Shinobi? Just because I never got to finish as a kid, and I was like, you know what? No one... Because Rystar I'm passionate about, because it's... Guys, did you know Sonic sucks on Mega Drive? It's just shit. And there's so many better platforms other than Sonic. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to show you guys Rystar, because it looks really cool. Let's check it out. And
Not to call you out. Your first streams were Resident Evil 2.
yeah, what was it?
And then you did a little bit of Dota and Castlevania Requiem, Symphony of the Night, and Rondo of Blood.
I played that on... I thought I did it on YouTube, not on...
Nope, that's on Twitch. And then you did Far Cry New Dawn.
Okay. Oh my god, I forgot about those days. Jeez.
And then you did Doom for one stream.
Yeah, it was too hard to platinum that because I had to watch a guy.
And then you did Sekiro.
Yeah.
And then
what?
Let's see, in April, Risk of Rain 2, Half-Life, Sega, that's the Rise Star game, I think.
Yeah, that's what
Dota 2.
Yeah. AAA streamer.
Days Gone for 2 streams. More Sega Genesis collection. Man, you were a retro king cunt.
I'm just fulfilling my destiny.
And then you did Plague Tale.
Okay. Alright, so...
And then lots of Dota.
Yeah. I played a lot with what's his name?
So,
that guy.
How am I checking that? Sullygnome.com. We mentioned this last podcast. You guys can check out the statistics and analytics for any streamers, which is great if you don't like someone and you want to see how badly they're doing.
So what Pretzel just said there, so I didn't get proper growth because I can show you my Twitch stats for the first 2 months. It was 1 to 2 viewer. I'm not even joking, 1 to 2. I sometimes got 3. For Breeze, let's go for Breezy. And
of all, I looked at 4 months. Your highest was 12, and I think that was a raid.
It was a raid, yeah. So that's a lesson, guys. Don't fucking play. The only time Plague Tale actually got me views because Plague Tale is one of those games where it's one of those weird small games where the big streamers won't play it, but the little ones might. So that's when I started getting a little bit more traction and growth. And I think I hit affiliate roughly around that time, along with Sega.
So the reason why I asked that question initially, Fox, was that Melandor made the decision to do that after he believed he already had an established audience. Is that an accurate description of it, Melandor?
Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it.
So, and then Fox, that's why I'm asking, going with something against the grain like that and playing less heard of games, maybe an indie game when it first comes out is different, right? But we're talking just like Hypnospace Outlaw, for example, he decided to play. If you have no audience, is that a good decision to make? Or is it an easier decision to make when you have a built-in audience?
Easy decision when you have a built-in audience. I think if you guys want to get big, we're trying to convince people to quit, but if I were to restart streaming from zero, I would honestly play probably Cyber Shadow day one, or try and find those indie games that aren't too obscure, because sometimes I go super hipster. You guys haven't seen. I used to go even more hipster. Not on Twitch, but on my YouTube days. Games you guys wouldn't even fucking think about. But if you played
Snail Run, though.
So which one?
Snail Run.
Snail. Fuck, I hadn't even heard of that game. So just trying to think what I played. Oh my god! Actually, I remember this one YouTube video. I played some fucking black and white game. We had to find a body in the fucking woods and that. It's weird, man. It was sick. I don't remember what it was called, man, but I remember that. Space for Janitor Days. Now, Prisma, that game was actually very popular for whatever reason, because it was published by what's called a Tiny Build, and Tiny Build had a lot of bigger YouTubers that they gave keys out, so I was unfortunately competing against those ding-dongs. And when's Dota 2 coming back? Never. Maybe one day. Actually, I might do a Dota stream one day, just as a joke.
Alright, let's get back to Melandor.
Yeah,
Melandor. Go ahead with your comment before I ask my question.
Yeah. So one thing I will say is I don't think what I did necessarily doomed my channel. I think there's ways there would have been ways to do what I did and keep growing. I just they required a level of commitment that I just wasn't willing to put into streaming.
Can you describe that commitment that you're talking about?
So I would have had to take it more seriously, essentially treat it more like a job than a hobby. So rather than just doing, and I was pretty open about this, that I just kind of did whatever I felt like. That didn't work as a strategy, and that's not for growing, and that's not what it was intended to do. Yeah.
So, around the time that you decided to kind of be introspective, and you decided to kind of that you decided like, okay, well, this might not be for me. Can you describe what your analytics and numbers were like, just to give people perspective?
And how are you feeling about
because
it
there's plenty of people that are doing the grind, which maybe we'll talk about that. But like
when I decided to retire,
because we're kind of
So around like late November, early December.
What I guess when your mind started going to that, maybe not like the day that you retired, right, or even like that. Basically, the period that you decided, you know what, this isn't for me.
It's definitely something that I'd been thinking about probably since I switched focus. Like from the point that I switched, just before I switched to just doing like not indie games but like lesser known games. That was something that had always been on my mind. Like because it wasn't going to be a career for me. For me, it was always a question of when I would quit.
Mm-hmm. So you knew for a long time that you weren't going to be doing this for a while.
I didn't have any plans of doing this forever.
Okay. Melandor, I was going to ask you, we didn't bring this up, how did you feel when you played Dark Souls, all the From Software games, so the popular From Software games, and you had these people come and be like, yo, you're doing this, fucking hella sick, hella poggers, and then you went, alright, I'm trying to play some Hypnospace, and they didn't come by. Did you feel like, wow, this guy really only just wants to watch Dark Souls? What a wanker. Did you feel that way, or did you feel like, oh, was there something wrong with my personality? Did it kind of hit you that way?
That's a good question. I'm just trying to think.
While you think, let me add on another question, which kind of more broadens it a bit, maybe, which is how much of the So, did you do as much introspection as you thought you would have to do going into this? And what I mean by that is when you start streaming, like you might not think about like how much introspection you'll have to do and self-analysis and self-critique. So I'm wondering if you either underestimated it or overestimated it, or your perspective on that. And also, can you kind of describe maybe what internal thought processes you went through, that you maybe weren't expecting to have to think about, or because like Fox said, he brought up the question of, well, you might think to yourself, is it my personality or something like that? That's something that I don't know if people realize. Like, if you're trying to get any kind of success, whether you mean to or not, that's a question you're going to end up asking yourself.
Oh, us all the time.
Yeah.
I would say I'm probably a bit unique in this area where I tend to be a bit more. I feel that I'm a bit more self-aware than normal. So I'm often not surprised when, like, I don't have introspection happens, but when I'm often not surprised by like big realizations about my personality. I often don't necessarily make the correct decisions based on knowing these things. That's a whole nother thing. But I would say the big thing that I was surprised by was how mentally taxing it could be sometimes streaming, which I didn't realize going.
That's a good point. Can you describe that? Because I know some people I saw in chat, and I forgot who asked, were kind of saying, or kind of phrased streaming in the sense of like, or kind of asked maybe rhetorically how much how stressful can it be? How taxing can it be?
Yeah,
so can you describe
it's not
that?
compared to a Hollywood film, as the person said.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you kind of, and I think this has definitely been discussed before, but you putting yourself out there obviously is your own brand. And to circle back to your comment about how did I feel when people moved on because of the game, that was definitely like, it definitely felt bad and made me feel worse about myself and like my personality and who I was as a person. To have that happen, it was very difficult to just be like, oh, whatever. Then, it's difficult to not think, oh, I guess they weren't interested in hanging out with me after all.
Did you try to dissociate your own like personality and feelings about it from them, and not be able to? In other words, what I mean is like, did you try to tell yourself, well, it's just the Dark Souls community, or it's just them, you know what I mean? Like, I know that I can do this and that, but just not able to dissociate yourself from that?
Not really. I think that there were some like particular viewers that I quite liked who moved on, and those were the ones that I was quite upset about.
I know that feeling.
Like, because there were a lot of like Dark Souls and Sekiro viewers who were around and moved on, and I didn't care about them at all because it was obvious what they were there for. But there were some people who seemed like they were there because they enjoyed my company, but then disappeared. Those were the ones that really
stung,
that really hurt.
Yeah, of course. Did you get were you surprised how emotionally invested you got into streaming your viewers and stuff like that?
I wasn't really, because I didn't really have any expectations. It was all kind of new. I because I didn't know what to expect. I wasn't surprised by what did happen.
Okay.
Because it didn't, because I didn't have expectations. It couldn't differ from them.
Gotcha.
Tom put a comment there. The types of viewers here for the game because I played. I want to flex on you about it. Backseat. Want to use you because they think you're doing well, and that's people for me for Darkest Dungeon, and then people who actually find the broadcast entertaining.
So Melandor, forgive me if I missed it, but did you actually go into the nitty gritty of your numbers?
No, I didn't actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so the reason why I asked Melandor before the stream if he'd be okay discussing this, and he said yes. And so this is to give you guys an idea of, I don't know, like, just kind of the relative success, quote unquote, that Melandor had before he decided to stop. And you guys might be surprised how successful or unsuccessful people are, regardless of the numbers they get and whatnot. So feel free to talk about it in whatever manner you want to.
Yeah, so this was actually interesting for me because I hadn't really, like, I'd look at them like each week, but I'd never gone back and looked at like how they compared to the month before.
Okay.
So, and I've actually never seen anyone else's numbers, so I have no idea if these are like
good or not.
Good, bad, average. I'd say most people don't know.
I'm gonna do a numbers reveal of my first month tomorrow on my 2-year anniversary.
Your first month.
I'll do the first 4 months. I'll show you how shit this channel was.
So I don't know the exact date I started in March, but so I didn't hit. So March to July, I was sub 10 average viewers.
Okay.
Did better than me.
August to November. August was 13.
Yeah.
And then November, it was like 13, 13, 14, 15. And then December's December's an outlier because of that 24-hour stream that I did on the 12th, which was the last stream.
Yeah.
Twitch deleted the VOD, by the way, because I played Twitch Sings on
That's right. Yeah.
fuckers. Anyway, moving on. Definitely not bitter about that at all.
You didn't get to download it, Melandor?
No, I didn't even save it. I was
Sorry, man.
salty.
Melandor.
So it was consistent. Like the numbers never went down. It was always let's viewer average. Followers and subs were all over the place, but so subs and revenue. Like I purposefully tried to like not push like subs and bits because I wasn't doing it as a career and I didn't need the money. I had the subs were for people who wanted the emotes and like support the channel or anything, but I wasn't really that keen on taking people's money to the point where I felt like really putting any effort into trying like increase subs, or I almost never looked at my sub count, for example. I'm looking like these numbers now. Probably the first time I've looked at the sub numbers. Oh, shut up, Psycho is. That's the one.
Oh, Moneybags Melandor doesn't need our filthy money. Oh.
Like goopies.
You need the wine emote, Psycho Wiz at the end of that.
Rug, we'll get to that. That's a good thing. We'll add that. Do you mind putting that question in either mine or Fox's Discord so that we know to come back to it?
Or copy.
Because I'd love, actually, Fox, if you and I both talk about at the end of the podcast or near when we're done talking to Melandor.
Yeah. Maybe
doing a quick, like, kind of like 24 hours.
Thanks,
like,
Rog.
what goes into our day outside of streaming itself.
I'll just read it out quickly just for the YouTube VOD. I'm curious, so Rug asks, I'm curious though, what is the real time hurdle for the stream day by day? Like, how many hours does it in total between picking your content and preparing it regardless of how long your streaming session is? So it's pretty much the pre-rep and post-rep stuff.
Yeah, and I think that, like, us going through, like, a 24-hour cycle of, like, more or less what we do every 24 hours. And it's going to be different between Fox and me because I do this full-time and Fox does a full-time job on top of this.
Yeah, and I also get distracted when Rug invites me under the rugs for some one-on-one sexuality exploration time.
So Melandor, continue.
It's actually kind of insane that Fox works full-time and does this almost full-time, right?
I do. So Melandor,
I remember you said your hours for last month.
Yeah, so I worked 37.5 hours times 52, so that's 1,940 hours, and I stream for 2,080 hours. So technically, I stream more than I work full time.
Yeah, I do. I actually remember you saying that. That's actually nuts.
Thank you.
So, okay, I'm going to be pretty frank about this question, Melandor. How much money did you make every month?
I'd tell you like
near like the last 3-4 months, I would say.
Last 3-4 months. So September, I made, this is US dollars, $87.41.
Let's go. Okay.
October, $121.19.
Let's go.
November, $75.
And then December, I'm assuming you made more because of your birthday.
No, because that was a charity stream, so I made far less.
That's right. That's right.
That everything went to the charity. So I made $45 in December.
Cool.
But we raised $535 for charity. So.
Dude, good on you. Beast. That's awesome.
Melandor, do you know how hard it is to raise $500? That's pretty sick.
It is.
I can't even get $500 for my Making Lives Better video.
I'm trying
to make Pretzel laugh. He's being serious this whole stream.
I'm being a serious interviewer. I'm trying to counteract you.
What sort of revenue numbers other people look at? Because as I said, I definitely de-emphasize like subs and gift subs. I think I had one hype train ever over that like whole 7-month period, which I was perfectly happy with. So I don't know if my revenue numbers are I actually have no idea whether they're representative of what someone could expect. Right. Presumably, if you wanted to, you could put more effort into raising those numbers. But I think all up, was like $659 which is about 800 800 something or other Australian. You did ask me in your message about costs, and
yes, that's another thing. Thank you for
not
bringing that up, and I'll just rephrase it for everyone. The question that I asked him in the message I sent him, which is, can you explain? So that's how much you made. Can you explain or talk about cost for streaming that you otherwise would not have spent if you weren't streaming?
So there was the green screen, which would have been, I think that was 200 and something Australian dollars. Webcam I already had, but I did buy a second webcam. I don't know why the hell I did that. Let's say that's, I think it was a expensive one. Let's say like 150 or whatever.
Yeah.
So let's say we're at like 350 Australian dollars now. And this is, a lot of this is just poor financial decisions on my part, which is a kind of a theme of my life. But moving on from that, new mic too. Yes, that's correct. I don't think it was that expensive.
What was Fennel saying? So
yeah,
when,
I'd have to like sort through all my emails and receipts to work out. But I'd say I wouldn't have made. I very much doubt I made a profit. I most likely made a loss over the 8 months, we'll say, of streaming.
And then Mocha brought up emote costs.
Yeah, and then there's like how much I probably spent on like gifting other channels subs
as part of networking.
Yeah. I mean, how many subs have I gifted to Fox? Too many.
And what did Fox ever do for you?
Exactly. No.
Excuse me, when we played Fall Guys, Melandor won, and I gifted 2 subs. Thank you very much. Eat a dick.
Actually, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Like a reverse card on that. And I donated money to your charity as well. So reverse card and you cancel.
You didn't win, right? That's I remember that.
Yeah. Fox's hella dog? Yeah, I told you guys I'm a dog cunt. Jesus Christ, why is your dog emote there?
And then, okay, so here's something else that a lot of people don't think about. What about the opportunity cost of streaming?
Now, perhaps can you explain what opportunity cost? Because some people don't know what that term is.
So opportunity cost is economic principle. Basically means because you're deciding to do something, the opportunity cost is the things you could otherwise be doing, but you decided to do this other thing in place. So in other words, if you decide to stream for 6 hours, the opportunity cost is the things you couldn't do because you were streaming for 6 hours.
Yeah, you could have been like working out, getting like hella orgies and shit. I don't know what people do in those 6 hours of time.
Mm-hmm.
Watching movies.
Yeah, so I mean, even just like strictly sticking to hours streamed and not considering obviously extra time spent outside of stream doing working on OBS. Not that I spent very little time outside of stream preparing, to be honest, but even so, it was still definitely that's like almost 600 hours.
Thanks, Brisbane, for the sub.
And that's a lot of time. Like,
yeah,
like I was going to the gym less with friends. I mean, well, part of that period was gyms weren't open, but even, like once they reopened, I was spending less time with my friends. Because I'd often be, streaming. I wasn't eating properly sometimes because I'd finish work and then just start stream and wouldn't eat dinner until I finished at 1 a.m. or something like that. There were a lot of factors like that that went into my eventual decision to stop streaming, at least like to the extent that I was. I should say there's some chance that, and like maybe I stream, like maybe at some point maybe I stream like once a month or something, but I don't think it's ever going to be something I spend 20 hours a week
thinking about
doing regularly, like ever again. The only reason I even say that is I think it's something hard to get out of your system. Even though I didn't after I did my last stream on December 12th, I didn't open OBS. I didn't open OBS. I don't know why I paused, as if there was going to be more to that.
We were waiting.
Like you
definitely
literally
set
edged
you
us.
up.
The semen is about to pop out, and you're just like, nah.
Edge.
Not edging us with that comment.
So great, because Grey Hat's a very analytical person. He's a personal friend of mine. What do you think your opportunity cost is at this point? Are you talking about me, Grey Hat, personally? Is it the amount of hours?
We'll talk about that at the end, because
rate?
that'll tie into Rug's
I
question.
expect that he's asking you. Yeah.
Yeah, Grey Hat, are you directing the question to me?
Sorry, how funny would it have been if I just came on to announce that I was like returning to streaming?
That'd be perfect.
I'd be so fun.
By the way, guys.
Hilarious! I'll be going live at the end of the podcast.
Oh yeah. By the way, guys, just twitch.tv/Melandor.
We're rating him
in about an hour and a half.
The
sabbatical has ended.
Just quickly, Melandor. I don't know if you remember this conversation. Did you start thinking about quitting streaming? I think it was the first Chili Dog episode, or the second one. You actually messaged me after the podcast, and you said, I never actually asked myself these questions before in regards to why do you stream and shit like that. Do you remember that, Melandor?
I do, yes.
Is that when you started thinking about quitting?
Probably in the back of my mind.
In the back of your mind, okay.
It's a good question. I don't think I put serious thought into it, like up until like a week before I actually did it. I'm pretty saying no with Crush Fox's ego. I already said no.
I don't have an ego. I'm free.
Oh, you said it.
So now, I guess to kind of wrap up this, kind of the crux of our conversation here is, so can you describe what was, if there was any single event or single thing that kind of flipped the switch in your mind that made you decide to stop?
It was me.
And if you could also, as a follow-up to that, describe what it's been like now that you've stopped.
I think, and I mentioned this before, it's that Hypnospace Outlaw stream that sticks out in my mind. I don't know that it was necessarily that important, but I remember, like...
It's stuck in your head, yeah.
That stream, and I remember how I felt that day.
Like, Melandor, when you told me that, like, my heart went out to you, because that game's really fucking cool, and the fact that people are watching, quote unquote, but not saying anything, or like, yo, this is, because that game's super fucking unique. So much better than Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Like, you have no idea how much better it is than that fucking shit of a game. And the fact that no one's
It was really good. And
yeah.
And the other big thing was, I remember near the end of that stream, because it was so quiet, I like ended up rushing through the last like hour or so, because I just wanted to finish it and stop streaming. And I thought, what a waste. Like, because the end was really cool, like, and I kind of regret rushing through it like I did.
Because you didn't.
It's paced like very specifically too.
I haven't had a chance to play it. I'm too scared to play it on stream because I don't like doing too much.
It's
reading.
not a very good stream game, I'll be honest.
And like, I'm not good at reading out loud.
I'm glad I didn't. I ended up also having to. I don't know how long. I was getting kind of stuck with what to do near the end because
I'll write a Dragon Dog.
There's a lot of like stuff to read and look at. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I don't know if I would recommend it as a stream game.
No. So can you describe what things have been like for you since like that last stream?
That's right, you did us. In terms of like streaming or not streaming, I haven't really like I like those first few weeks were really good. I just felt like I had so much more time for myself and to do things that I'd been wanting to do, but didn't really get a chance to. And like sometimes I missed it, but like not enough to
come back
to
and,
really do anything
come back on a
about it,
podcast and re-announce your return.
Yeah, exactly.
To 75
Did you ever? Did you ever? Did it make it difficult to come back to Twitch even as a viewer?
Not really.
Okay.
I don't think. I know I haven't been around much like this last week, but that's been due to other reasons. I don't know if that's why you asked that. But...
No. I'm just wondering, like,
Francis, like,
no,
where's my viewer?
It's one of those
I need
questions.
my one number.
I was gonna say, yeah, I've been wondering where you've been. I haven't seen you resub or anything.
Oh, what, didn't you see my tweet? I cancelled almost all my subs.
Oh, okay, great.
I redid my budget. I need to buy a bigger house, dude. I need that money.
You know, Melandor's actually going to...
No, the reason why I ask is because one of my fears when it comes to people deciding that they want to stream is, especially if they're part of a community, is they start doing it and then they almost inevitably decide that they don't want to, or it's not as successful as they think. And one of the things that's always in the back of my mind is, okay, so they've started streaming, they're not doing great at it, or it's not turning out as well as they like it to be. Are they still going to want to be a viewer?
It's kind of the shame of quitting.
The shame of quitting, or and this is we'll go into the heart at the end of the podcast. We're going to do kind of a round robin of like or a lightning round of harsh truths for streaming. But I was just wondering if, having done the streaming and deciding to stop it and not being maybe entirely satisfied with the experience, if that soured your experience of Twitch as a viewer.
It definitely didn't sour my experience.
Okay.
I will say there's probably how should I put this? There's probably some streams that I won't go to as much now as I did before.
Why is that? Is it pretzels? What did he? Where did he touch you on the doll?
I feel bad because I don't think I've said anything in pretzel stream for like a week. I
noticed.
Like we won't name names because I'm sure you probably don't want to.
Yeah, you don't have to name names, but can you describe why?
Yeah, why are you avoiding certain people?
I wouldn't say avoiding. I will just say, like, even though it wasn't necessarily my intention, I would say some streams I watched as just partly for networking.
Let's go.
That's a controversial thing to say.
No, I love it. I want people to say that because I truly believe this is back to Pretzel's original tweet when he said, "Fuck all lurkers, you lurkers suck dick." I think that's what the original intention was that some people generally watch people just to get the view for view, lurk for lurk, like for like,
make their presence known, and that's it.
Yeah.
Not actually be a part of the community.
Well,
really thrown off by Fox being funny. Is that what?
I mean, enjoy it while it lasts, I guess.
Yeah.
Guess I'm not fucking funny, you fucking wanker. Get out. I must be a viewer. People don't realize how much network I'm actually doing. Let's go, depression. And then full screen dog to Ichiro Hakubi. First time tuning in. Ichiro Hakubi, why weren't you here all the other fucking podcasts? You dog cunt. Get your fucking ass here, sit down. But yeah, no, Melandor, yeah, I really like that point. I think that's what me and Pretzel were trying to get you to admit. Sorry that we fucking did a full
get FBI. To admit, no, yeah. I don't think that. I was genuinely curious why he just. Why well, I didn't know if it was like.
I wouldn't necessarily say it was fake. It's just once.
There's no.
You just don't have time.
Well, you prioritize, right? You prioritize now that you don't have to worry about like, I have to be in this person's stream because they've been in mine, et cetera, that give and take. Now that that's not there, you can focus strictly on who is entertaining.
Yeah.
Right?
So did you find, Melandor, that there were some streams you actually watched because like, this guy is fucking hella poggers. I love this stream. And then some streams like, he's part of the community. He's here. I'll watch him. I'll say hi and, make conversation. I'm not really watching, though. Did you feel like there was a differentiation between the two types of streams you were watching, Melandor?
I would say I had preferences for streams. There were definitely like streams that I could have just hung out in to network, and I didn't.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I still went to those streams because I like those people. It's just I don't have time to watch everyone's stream now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I
That's very
have
true.
other priorities other than Twitch.
And you don't fit, and do you not? And well, and I don't know if you did do this previously, but you don't have any incentive to just like lurk 3 tabs and not
Yeah.
actually watch them.
Yeah, that's yeah.
There's no reason to if you're just a viewer and you don't have anything to gain from it, other than like if you want to support them, and by that you're just admitting that you're just a number to them. Your actual like engagement isn't as meaningful as getting their number up and boosting them up, which that's another topic entirely. But any last questions
Yeah.
for Melandor?
And
I'm sorry, go Melandor. Finish your comment.
I got the
Woo!
yeah.
So I like to make weird sounds when it's get silent. Do you feel your Twitch
Yeah,
experience?
it's just tough to be everywhere,
Yeah.
basically.
Well, and it gives the illusion that you can be when you just like lurk. We've all seen them, right? They seem to be in every fucking stream, and it gives this false illusion that you're able to do that meaningfully. I should say meaningfully.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that's possible. You know. And I don't know how many people actually really read into that as not being maybe as meaningful as it appears. I worry sometimes that people see that and they're like, oh, well, they just care so much that they want to go out and they want to be in everyone's chats and they want to engage in everyone, not realizing that you can just easily do it with chatty and just like, you know what I mean? If anyone ats you or anything, then you can just see it in all the different streams at once, without actually having to watch the stream or engage in it or think critically about the content.
That's what Prisma does. If you at Prisma, even though he's at work, you can hear him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But
everyone at Prisma, please, just to harass him. For a cycle stream, watch week by week. So I don't
but
need
Fox, do you have any last questions for Melandor? Because Melandor's been very gracious. I know it's late for you.
Yeah.
I don't work tomorrow at least. So.
Oh well then.
Hey, you got a fucking long weekend, mate. It's fucking Australia. They come on Tuesday. He's got fucking Monday off, Tuesday off.
All you gotta do it. All you're gonna do. It's a fair dinkum holiday weekend. You gonna do a shoey? You sick cunt?
I'm probably gonna stay at home, play video games.
Let's go, dude. I've done that so many Australian days. Fox, you wanker? No, you're a wanker, Prisma.
No,
right,
Fox.
the question.
Any last questions or any
so-
kind of like last things you want to ask him?
So, number one, do you watch my stream, Melandor, still? Question mark?
Follow-up question.
do,
Do you still
actually.
watch mine?
I actually lurk a lot more these days. Because sometimes I just can't be bothered chatting.
Yeah, that's fine. I've done that before.
I do that too. Even
Yeah.
with people who I genuinely enjoy their content, I just
Yeah, and
I'll
I
say
feel
hello,
bad
I'll
because
talk a
I
little
said all
bit,
those
but I
things about like not having chatters, but
No, it happens, man. Like, not everyone can talk. I completely understand that. Melandor, I was just gonna say, since you've quit, what have you done with your time now? So what's been like one of the awesome realizations after you quit Twitch, and oh fuck, did I don't know if you were there for Melandor for that podcast, but when I kind of said that, I kind of like pushed Melandor over the edge to quit, and a certain viewer was like very angry. He's like, "I love Melandor. He's my favorite streamer. How dare you make Melandor quit?" Has anyone tried to convince you to come back to streaming? Let's just say that.
That's a great question.
No, actually, which is fine by me. I mean, people have made offhand comments, but no one's like seriously said to me,
Baby,
you should come back to streaming.
Yeah.
There were when I first said I was retiring, I think there were a few people who didn't like believe me, which I thought was funny. But it'd be kind of strange thing to joke about, I think.
Yeah.
And what have you done with your time since?
I will get on to that in a second. There was just something else I wanted to circle back to the networking thing. There was also like a weird pressure from like, and I don't think like this was necessarily something people were doing on purpose. There's a lot of pressure on streamers to support everyone.
Oh
yes.
Jesus Christ! We should make a video on that pretzel. You know what? I can write that down.
And there wasn't much, and this was something that I thought about when I changed my streamer focus. There wasn't in a lot of communities. There wasn't a lot of focus on what the individual streamers were actually doing, other than just streaming. So like you'd turn up and you'd get a shout out or whatever, but there'd be very little discussion about
why that person's cool.
Yo, check
who
out
you were
Melandor.
as a streamer,
Really cool, really
awesome.
chill, plays a lot of good games.
And there were plenty. Don't get me wrong, there were plenty of streamers who did do the right thing when they talked about you. But there were lots who didn't, and that was something else that
Actually,
kind of made me feel weird.
Did it make you feel
about what I was doing?
That you were a streamer to them and a number, but they'd never actually got to know you and actually know what your content's about. So when they shouted you out, it just felt fucking empty.
Hollow, yeah.
Then it's not really there to benefit you; it's there to benefit them. It feels like.
Yeah,
I mean, like, I want to appear like a super supportive
benefit.
Streamer kind of thing.
Because
I think there's streamers who do it. I think there's streamers who do it right, and I think there's some who do it just for the as part of
the thing to do, type
supporting.
Of thing.
Yeah, and I don't know if I necessarily I didn't like that, at least for me personally. It didn't feel right. A right fit for me. But anyway, moving away from that, back to whatever the last question you asked was, which I've already forgotten, Pretzel. So you're gonna have to ask it again.
I don't remember either.
I thought.
Oh, well, I did have a question. Yes, so this is. I guess we can use this as a last question. Before we'll take a quick little break, so I can go get water, or go to the bathroom, and we'll kind of get back to the kind of regular podcast, and we'll let you go, Melandor. But my last question is, if there are people listening and watching right now that are thinking about streaming, have just started streaming, or have been doing the grind and not seen a lot, based on your kind of retrospective, and
your journey,
place where you're at now, what would be your advice, message, cautionary, whatever you want to give them? Basically, the platform is yours to, use your wisdom that you've gained from this experience.
To be honest, I don't really like giving unsolicited advice.
I'm soliciting it from you.
Got him.
Yeah, but it's not advice. It's not advice for you. Is what
I
I'm saying.
I might like it.
if someone approached me and asked me questions and explained their specific circumstance, then I'd be comfortable giving them advice. I don't like giving like blanket advice.
Wait,
Okay.
do you work in finance?
Okay,
guys?
let me rephrase it. What do you wish you had known that you know now?
I do.
Yeah, that's why.
Correct.
It's Australian law. We can't give unsolicited. Sorry, yeah, I forgot. Melandor works in finance. Yeah, we're not allowed to give advice. Yeah. Do you have
Because to be honest, for like for the random person, like I don't care what they do. Do whatever you want, whatever.
Do what you want, whatever. You fucking dog cunt. Be a shit streamer, you piece of shit. That's what Melon was saying. Just be shit, little shithead. All right.
Well, what do you wish you knew?
What would I have done differently?
Yeah. What do you either things you would have done differently or what you wish you had known that you know now?
That's actually an interesting question because I feel like I still don't know much about streaming. I would say it's a very like it's not a very transparent industry. Like it's very unclear like what's going on. Like even with your own numbers, a lot of the time.
And it feels like there's a discouragement to be transparent.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what I did wrong or right, because I don't know what actually contributed to my success or not, in my opinion.
That's good.
Not a very helpful answer, but I think that's actually the truth. I couldn't tell you why whether my numbers were good or bad. I couldn't tell you why they are what they were what they were.
Mm-hmm. No worries. I appreciate your honesty about it.
Melandor, I've got 2 questions. Do you feel people should ask themselves more questions? Like, because remember when you messaged me and you said, yes. I never thought about... Yeah.
I think even outside of streaming, I think like introspection and trying to be self-aware is like really important.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, tell me about it.
I think a lot of people could
benefit from it.
Could stand to do that. I certainly have some like IRL friends who could benefit from something like that.
Yeah, we all have friends like that.
Well, yeah, and it's just people, IRL people. I wouldn't call them friends necessarily, who are just so clearly like never put any thought into what they're doing.
What was your second?
And the second question is just, Melandor, what have you been doing with your retirement? Tell us where we can find you. What have you been up to? Should we keep an eye out on YouTube? You become a YouTube celebrity or whatever you're doing, man? We'd love to know, Melandor, because I always thought you were a good dude. And
I've been trying to get like my life in order, to be honest. I've just recently started like a new I think they call them like bullet journals, except it's not a bullet journal. It's an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah, that's fine.
To like kind of track my life, and I've been working on my budget. I'm hoping in like maybe like I don't know how many years, I haven't really figured that out, to like use my current apartment to get a mortgage on a bigger place, and then rent this one out.
I can teach you how to do that if you want.
Yeah, I have a pretty good idea. It's mostly just working out like what I can afford.
Yeah.
And like doing some extra in terms of like mortgage repayments and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'm starting to learn to cook, like the very basics. I subscribed to one of the, like, I think HelloFresh. That's it, like everywhere now. For like a week, just so I didn't have to go to the shops and buy the ingredients.
Yeah.
So like I cooked my first meal with that tonight.
What meal was it? Which one was it?
Mistakes were made. It was black bean quesadillas.
Oh, okay.
I should have read the instructions before starting the process. It's a vegetarian recipe, so I don't know if because I'm a vegetarian, so.
And Melandor,
and yeah. and I've just been trying to put more effort into like my other hobbies, like cross stitching and model painting and like my keyboard and all that stuff. Just trying to do more with my life. And then I've got I'm on the waiting list for a voice acting class in Sydney.
That's awesome.
Because we already have. Because was I the first person to ask you about voice acting?
Probably.
Surely...
definitely weren't the person. You weren't the first person to compliment my voice, which was.
That's what I thought.
That was weird experience for me. Tom's volunteering for me to paint him, I think.
At least Tom admitted he's hot. Fine, thank fuck.
True. What was I going to say? Yeah, and I probably need to look into like getting better qualifications.
Yeah. I was going to say, Melandor,
get a better job.
Since you've quit streaming, are you happier now? Because it seems
that's
like...
a complicated... There's been some other like...
Oh, yeah. Well, aside, like, let's just say ignore any bad things that might have happened to you.
Yeah. I think I'll say I for me, I think I made the right decision to retire. I don't think I don't think if I'd continued to stream like I was that I would have been happy with what I was doing. So.
Gotcha.
No,
well,
Melandor, thank you so much.
I appreciate your honesty, coming on here and talking to us and everyone, answering our questions, being transparent. I wish your clothes were transparent. That's it.
Bye, bro.
Full transparency. I actually put clothes back on.
Oh, damn it!
I turned the air conditioner on.
It ruins the mental image I had for this whole conversation.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Melandor,
right.
I was going to say, you can always message me on Melandor if you ever have any questions you ever want to ask me. Because there's some things I could, like the finance stuff and houses and budgeting, that's something you can talk to me about if you like. And you're always more than welcome to say hello and don't be a stranger, because I always thought you were a top fucking bloke. Especially when I saw you playing Rule of Royals, I was like, yeah, this is my homie. At least he fucking plays good games.
He's a sick cunt.
He's a fair
dinkum stink cunt.
He's not a dog cunt.
He's a fucking sick cunt. He's a sick cunt. Not a dog cunt, sick cunt. Melandor, and I honestly,
right, time to get on the beers then, eh?
Get on the beers. Honestly...
we all do a shoey?
No, don't. When you announced your retirement, Melandor, I was so happy for you. Like, it was the happiest day of my life. I'm not even joking. Like, it sounds dumb, but when I read that tweet, I was just like, thank fuck. Like, I think more people need to realize, and like, I'm glad that you realize it. It's like, you know what? I tried it. I got other shit to do. I want to end on a high. I really love that last tweet you wrote. Like, I don't want to end on a loss. I want to end on a win, because you did end on a fucking awesome last stream. Shaving that beard off. Revealing that gorgeous fucking jawline, god damn it, and then raising that money for charity. I think you're a fucking king, Melandor, and I think people should look up to you more often. I think Melandor, you made quitting sexy, and I think more people should follow your lead and just ask, not quit necessarily, but at least ask themselves the right questions to see what is working, what is not. Is this for me? Is there something else better I could be doing with my time? Back to opportunity cost, as we discussed earlier. So Melandor, standing ovation.
Or even just, is there more I can be doing? More Correct. I could be putting into my stream.
Yeah. Right. Not that it's not successful, but that time could maybe be spent on something more personally successful.
Yeah.
All right. I think this is a good time to BRB. Fox, we can switch back to our one-on-one call.
All right.
And then I can go to the bathroom and get some more water, and we'll continue with the normal podcast where we answer your guys' questions and we... I guess just do what we normally do.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to stay, Melandor, if you want. Otherwise, if you're going to bed,
yeah.
Words for everyone in chat.
Nah, seriously, you're a lord.
Love you guys. You're all great.
You're great. Got him.